Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ernie C, the Gap Tooth Genius, and we are back in pain for episode 98. Got my guy Gil here.
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm glad you're on the pod, man. We could just be honest with the people. I kept you waiting a few days. It was scheduling conflicts here.
Yeah, shit happens.
Dude, we've been waiting for like the last 2 weeks, man. But I think we needed to take a break to see what we're going to do the next, for me at least, what's going to happen after 100. Because this is the road to 100. So I needed to kind of put my ducks in the line too. Because I think after 100, people are going to start coming in droves a little bit more. Because I got some surprises coming. So
There you go. That's what you do it though.
Let's see what happens, man.
I leave that suspense.
I think you have to come a little bit closer with the mic though. Because it's a little bit closer. Don't kiss it.
No.
It's not my tia.
Right there.
That's perfect.
Right.
Perfect. Usually we have people here who are like, you know, I guess rappers and boxers.
People known.
People known.
Yeah.
But I think this is my podcast, and I think it's really important to show who helps me get to where we're supposed to be at and who guides me. And how long have I known you, Gil?
So how old are you?
30, dude.
There you go.
And I think off the rip, you've been in my life since before I was born, bro. We have pictures.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to say what I always say you're my uncle, my brother's Nino, like you're my big homie, you're my big brother, but what would you say? Like, how do we say that? It's so weird, dude. I think
Yeah, it's just because me and your mom and pops, but you know Becky and I, and then them two used to hang out. Well, it was really me, your pops, and Rich. You know, in high school we went everywhere together, partied, hung out, did whatever, and then as we grew. Still stood the same until we all started getting our jobs, school, and you know everybody gets busy.
Definitely.
You know, but yeah.
That core of friends, and then this is like the next, I guess, branch of it.
That was the start off actually for me. You know, those two were the start for me because those were the two I trusted the most in high school, and then out of high school. And after that, kind of everybody. I don't want to say we went our separate ways because we didn't. We still keep in touch. But it's, you know, I added.
Keep talking.
You know, I added, I guess, or, you know, I had other friends.
And it's weird. It's not weird, I guess, to me. It's unique to see the bond we still have after all these years. Like, I know you have God kids, you have Virus, but I've always felt like we still have that connection. We talk shit almost all the time, dude. You've always been there for me. You always help with big decisions in my life. I think you've always been there to guide me and tell me that I think the things I needed here too. You're not a yes man by any means.
No, I try not to be. I mean, it's kind of like the way I brought up my son is. I told him I'm gonna be your biggest fan, but your harshest critic. You know, and it all comes from love. It doesn't come from anything else. It's not. You know, I want you guys to be successful. You know, I mean, you think of the kids that grew up. That I was there since they were born. You know, yourself, you know, Clarissa, Nick,
Vince, Mike,
Elika, Lexi, Cassandra, Larissa, JJ. You know, it's like those were the core kids. Besides my nieces and nephews, that I was always around. So even though you weren't my godson, you know, Nick was, and Clarissa my goddaughter, it was still. It's not like I look at you. It's
not a favorite thing at all.
No, it was love for all of them, for everybody. I mean, all the kids. If any of them need them today, they could call me. Go, hey, you know, you got a minute? Yeah. What do you need? You know, to me, it's no big thing because I know in my heart of hearts, I know if my boy called your dad or even called Rich, they're gonna do the same thing for him. You know, or Jay. You know, so it's one of those things that it's I don't know.
And I think as it's crazy now we're adults, right? I had Mike on here. You know, me and Vince talk all the time. Me, Cassandra, Larissa, with their tragedy recently. I talked to them a few times. Like, we're close too, just like you guys were close. And it's like we still have that core, and people don't really understand. Like, we're family. We consider each other family. It's family essentially. Like,
it's a different bond. I mean, just because when you guys were small, everybody was at everybody's party. You know, didn't matter. It was. We all showed up to everything and supported one another. So you guys played together all the time, and it didn't matter. I don't know. For me, the way I seen it is, we just went. We did what we had to do as far as to get the event together, and everybody had a great time. And that's what it was about. It was about creating a family, you know, family environment. And it's still true to this day, like you said. You know, you guys see each other it's you just pick up where you left off.
Easy call.
Yeah.
Text. We still we don't see each other every day, but it's always love when we see each other.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think that will never break.
No.
And I think you guys planted the seeds for that 100%. I'm grateful for you and everybody else. Like, you know, all the guys we hang out with, like, we don't really post everything on social media. That's not our thing.
Yeah.
But we really have a bond that's, you know, Jesse talked about it too.
Yeah.
The bond, we all do shit for each other. It's love.
But it's one of those things that nobody has to say what they do. They don't say, hey, look what I did for him. Look what he did for me. Everybody knows it's we do things for each other with no expectations. But at the same time, we know if we need something, they're there.
100%.
And it's, I don't know. It's I guess it's the way our parents brought us up though too.
I was gonna ask, is that something that's kind of, it's not a forgotten art, but is that something that was kind of old school, I guess you could say, the way that we look out for each other and the way we kind of keep it, it's a generational thing. We're all trying to just stay together, you know what I mean? Not forget who, how do I say this?
Forget where you come from.
Not forget where we came from, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter how much money anybody has or their status, because we don't look
Exactly.
at that. And the way I was brought up, I think the way even, like I said, I get back to the core. Even Jay was kind of in there with the core too, with Rich, your pops, Jay. All of us are brought up the same. You know, you could act like you're bad, but your parents will check you. And then when you get somewhere, you greet everybody with respect. You treat everybody right, you know. And when you leave, you tell everybody bye. You know, a handshake, hug. For the tias, it was a kiss on the cheek, you know. It was all that. And that's how we taught our kids. You know, be respectful, look a man in the eye, shake his hand. You know, shake his hand, don't do...
No, that shit firm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think another thing I remember you telling me when I was a kid was like how you treated your grandma. You took care of her, whatever she needed. What do you need? And I always think about that too. My grandma's like, I don't gotta worry about nothing. What do you need, Nana? Yeah. What could I help you with? And that's something I really did learn from you. I remember you telling me a story one time, just when you're back in the day, we take your grandma to the hospital, to the doctor appointments and all that stuff. You would help her out, and that was. So like also a lot of things I got from you. I want you to know that. It's the first time when you talked on the podcast. It's weird how like we in the world know what's going on between us. It's weird, dude.
It's one of those things. Growing up, you know, my grandma was a big part of our life. Me and my brothers, and I mean we live in the Okie right there in Feeley's. Next door was my great grandma and grandpa, and then behind them was my grandma and grandpa, and a couple of aunts were scattered around. But every morning, it's like you go tell them hi. And when you're small, it's like they feed you. What do you need? You need something? You know, back then, you know, if they had $1 and they gave us $1, that was a lot of money. You know, I'm kind of putting my age out there. But, you know, it was one of those things where they didn't think twice. And my grandma and grandpa were rich, you know, but whatever they had, whatever anybody needed, they got. And then, you know, the thing they always preached was just family, taking care of one another. So as me and my brothers got older and my cousins got older, it's like, okay, Grandma, now it's our turn. You know, it's like she used to love to play bingo. It's like, what are you doing? We knew she was short ends, and it's like, well, here's a couple of dollars, and you know, no, you can't give me that. Yeah, you can go play, go have fun. You know, she just looks like, oh, hey, you gave us plenty. We never got close to repaying her. You know, everything we did for her.
I don't think we ever could, huh?
No,
I think that to this day too. I'm like, there's no way I ever could. Not at least financially, I wouldn't be able to. I could give them. I want it from here. Like nothing I could ever do. I want to try my best to try to pay them, but it's impossible. It's an impossible task.
Well, you can't put a price on what they did. For
us. 100%.
You know, because it's you know, until, and I don't got any grandkids yet, but you know, I hear it's great and it looks great, and that's the thing. You know, grandparents' love is different than a parent's love. You know, and it just is. And I see it a lot, and even you know, my friends that have grandkids are like, yeah. Oh yeah, they can do whatever. And I remember with their kids, it's like, oh, damn.
They couldn't give up that shit. Yeah, I know it's a trip, and I didn't think about it, like I never really put myself in our elder shoes, right? Like I hear my nana saying, "Well, you made me a grandma for the first time." I'm like, damn, you weren't always good at this. You know what I'm saying? Like she's great, you know. Like damn, nana, you were new at this. It's so weird, dude. Cause damn, especially my grandpa, like. To see what they did for us, like now that as adults, what they did for us, like they kind of had it planned out. Like we're gonna leave something for the kids. Could always be, how do I say it? Kind of ahead in their finances because they have this house now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like
they help out with the struggle. I mean, you got to think when your grandparents, the struggle they went through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether it was to own a home or to work,
Mm-hmm.
you know, back then it was tough. I mean,
especially in the industry, thought there wasn't a lot of Mexican guys running the ship there.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was, you know, Mexican women, you know, they were looked down upon. Not just, you know, women in general, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was rough. I mean, we're only a couple generations from all the full blown out racism.
Isn't that crazy? We talk about, you know, the 60s was really rough for minorities. Yeah. That wasn't too long ago, dude.
No, I mean, I'm born in the 70s, so my mom went through that, but I couldn't imagine what my grandma and grandpa went through, or my great grandma and grandpa went through. It was like
from the 1900s to the 1960s. Imagine that period. It wasn't too far ago in American history. We're not a politics podcast, but we dive on it. Like, that wasn't too long ago. And it's great the progress that we made from 63 when they signed the Civil Rights Act to now. Yeah. But there's still we see it every day. There's still so much more to build on.
It's like everything else. Just because there's something written down on paper doesn't mean that people are following it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's still ways around it. Yeah, okay, here we'll make you happy. We'll sign this bill. Great, and then people are still racist.
The states still had that power to make little loopholes and Jim Crow laws. Weird, right? Yeah. Oh, God, dude. And it's, even with Texas right now, what they're doing, it's so crazy how Texas is so like, you know, my body, I'm not wearing a mask, which is fine. I think we agree. You can do whatever the hell you want. But then when it comes to a woman and their body, oh, no, you can't do that because we made this law that says you can't do that. What happened to my body, though? Like, I think it's a contradiction. Not supporting any type of abortion at all, but it's like,
well, you know, it's one of those. It's weird. They're not weird because I can't as a man say, oh, they should have the right to. You know what? They should have the right to do what they want to do. If they consult a physician.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
definitely.
Because you want to make sure everything goes through and it's right. Am I for abortion? Of course I'm not.
Definitely.
I don't want anybody to get killed or anybody to die. But there's different situations that happen to people, and I don't know. It's hard for me to say, yeah, this person got raped, but they have to keep a baby.
And men making laws for women's bodies is that's kind of back in the day shit. We got to get with the times on that. At least I think so. I'm not gonna tell anyone what to do with their body. It's weird. Like, that's just not my get down.
Well, it's like Dave Chappelle. I don't know if you've seen the Sticks and Stones.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, I have. I've seen it. Yeah.
He talks about it, where he talks about the law and says, he tells them, it's gonna get tougher. See how they change laws, and he goes, hey, he says something to the effect of, okay, you have the right to abort a baby or keep the baby, and jokingly he says, well, I have the right to not pay for him. If I don't want to, they start laughing, but he goes, but if I'm wrong, maybe we're all wrong, and I'm like, yeah, it's a good point, because unfortunately there are people out there, women out there that want to have a kid, and just because they want the money, they don't want to work.
No, that's a good, that's a human fact.
And I don't want to get deep in the weeds in that.
No,
that's what he's basically talking about, and it's, I don't know.
It's weird times, like progressing. And so I think another thing you see me progress as a man too.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell people all the time, like, back in the day, dude, you used to pick me up from just some places I couldn't call my mom and dad, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and I tell my mom and dad, I could be honest with them now. I'm 30. Yeah. You used to pick me up, dude, because I always felt like I could trust you. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell you, a lot of things about me I don't think anybody knows. And just what we've been going through recently, my brother having been on the podcast, sharing his story, you're one of the main people we told, too, just because we know you would give us the best advice on what route should we take now that we put ourselves in this fucking hole. What's the next route? You know what I mean? So I've always had that trust with you. And I know you don't need to hear that from me, but just for the viewers and listeners who are, finally, first getting to know you, I trust you a lot. That's why you're on here. I think it's important that like I said, bring people on my podcast that just help me grow as a man and build me up. It takes a village. I think I'm a great example of that. Love my mom and dad, but it did take a village because I couldn't share with my mom and dad a lot of stuff that I had going on in my life, and I always felt like I could lean on you when I needed to, and I could always talk to you about things just to get another opinion, but you would help guide me. You know what I mean? That means a lot. So thank you, 100%, dude.
It's nothing. I mean, you're welcome. It's one of those things. I think everybody needs that because it's hard to go to parents, even if you talk to your parents a lot. I mean, it's tough because you're you're a little ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, you look down on yourself, man, I can't tell him I did this, or I can't tell him this is going on. And you can. It's just one of those things. As you grow older, you understand. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. It's too late now. It's water under the bridge. They might get mad, but at least they know.
And I always felt like you wouldn't judge me. No. That makes sense, dog. And that's why I'm glad you're on. I could tell you. We always had these conversations. Like I said, now we're just having it on wax. I always could trust you, and I always knew you weren't judging, but you're gonna be fucking hard on me if I need it. Like, yo, you need to figure this shit out. You're not scared. Tell me, figure that shit out. 100%.
That's again upbringing. Even the guys I hang out with now. We got a good core, and it's a solid core, and it's one of the things that we do that. I mean, when things are going bad for one of us, we're there, and maybe somebody comes to tears. It's all right. Hey, it happens. We're grown. Mm-hmm. You have to go through, let it out. You can't go home and have it all bottled up. And it's that thing, the old saying. Hey, if you mess up, I got your back. When we get home, we'll talk about it though. Mm-hmm. Don't put us in that situation.
100%.
But in front of everybody else, say, I don't care what he did. No, you ain't gonna do nothing there. This ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens every now and then.
And
we all slip.
No, we definitely slip. We won't go too deep, but I wanted to tell you thank you too, because I was telling my girlfriend actually, when you told me the other day why I figured it took me 30 years to figure this out. It was fucking crazy, and it got me emotional, dude. I remember I got emotional with Adrena because I was just thinking like. Because I talk about you guys in a great way. Sometimes in a bad way too. Talks about you all the time. We talk about you. We talk our shit, right? I remember I was just telling her like, because we're fairly new, but she's been my friend for a long time, but doesn't really understand adolescence to young man to teenager to what I am now, right? And what you told me at Chuko's house the other day about why we were always at your house on weekends sometimes. You know how that was working out. Yeah. And I figured out you did that, and we were talking like, I said, you did that because you're getting us away from chaos. Yeah. Dude.
At times, yeah.
100% at times. Sometimes we just like kicking it and we'll go do whatever. This man took me to my first DJ Quick concert. You know what I mean? Like, that was crazy. We'll talk about that too. But before we get into our fun shit, I wanted to get the serious stuff over with. When you told me that though, Gil, like that was when I finally figured that out. I know you knew already, but I guess I never really got that. I guess that it moment.
Well, I think the one thing for me anyway, I'm a pretty calm person. I mean, I don't get too excited about a lot of things or get carried away. I'm not loud. I kind of lay low in the cut. I mean, I can get loud, I guess, after a couple of drinks.
Like we all do. Yeah, hell yeah.
But even at the house, again, Becky and I, our house was pretty calm, pretty quiet. But it was always, I mean, you were around and when you were born, when you were walking and talking, you'd roll with us.
Dog, I still remember going to your apartment with the second Dreamcast playing Street Fighter. Yeah. With the black car you had the stick shift in. Yeah. That I remember that 100%.
Yeah, we used to go, and it was like as you got older and the other two were getting bigger, and all you guys started coming, and it was certain times it's like you'd call me because you're around the corner and like, what are you guys doing? Nothing. Well, come by? Yeah, all right, I'll go pick you up. Or they drop you off. And it's like, yeah, come on, I don't care. I'm chilling. It was a Friday night, Saturday night. Watch some movies, eat some pizza, or get something. And Becky was always cool about that. She liked having you guys there, so it was never an issue. You guys being at our house, or any kids being at our house, was never an issue. It was fun because we only had, Gilly was small.
There was a point Kat wasn't even born yet. Yeah, that was a point. I remember those days.
Yeah, Gilly was small. So it was always. To us, it was nice having you guys around too, because we didn't get to see you as much as before because all the personal stuff.
So. I figured we wouldn't go into that, but like that personal stuff, when I realized, hold on, that's somebody. Is your phone ringing? Nope. This is what happens on the podcast. Sometimes we gotta see what the hell that staticky noise is, and it sure ain't me. I wonder why he does that, dude.
I don't know, I'm getting some text messages.
Maybe that's why. A little bit of some interference. I just don't want it to pop up on the podcast. It's off now. Yeah. It's cool. We'll take that little part out. But this is what we do on the podcast. And sometimes it's just going on the fly. And I know one thing we gotta do on the fly. 1 minute. don't make a funny joke.
What happened?
I was put my head under the desk. Shit. Oh, man.
I was gonna say something.
I know you should have. I was gonna say, don't say a funny ass joke. I already know if people are gonna watch that. Why is he doing it at the desk? But so back to when we were kids, I finally realized like that's what you were doing. Of course, you want to hang out with us too, but dude, and that got me like real emotional. I'm like, damn, that's when I got love for you, dog. I love you like 100%, my guy.
Well, there's one time I think you were there at the pad, and then you had to leave, and then you were going with your pops, and then your pops called me, and I was like, me and him were going. I mean, we were talking, but we were talking, going through a little thing, and then
what is that?
I don't know. What's that?
Oh, I was almost stopped. Good God, I wonder why it does that.
Okay.
We'll have to cut something out. Go ahead.
No, but you got there and you called the home phone back when we had a home phone. That sounds funny, a home phone. And then I answered, and you're kind of shooken up. Something's going on. What's up? You good? You all right? Yeah. I just want to tell you I love you, Gilly, and I love you too. It's good. You're good. Relax. You're good. And then we talked for a little bit, and your pop's on the phone, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to say thanks for having them." I was like, "Nah, fool, it don't matter, day, night, whatever, whenever he wants to come by, then all of them come by and kick it." And we chopped it up for a little bit, and then hung out. But it was just, I forgot what happened, but it was something that you were there at the house, and then you had to go be with your dad, and then I don't know if I don't think anything happened with him. Something happened somewhere else, and I was like, "Oh shit," but.
I was just, I don't know. I know exactly because he was sitting right here when he was talking. I just don't know what the hell drove me to call you and tell you thanks. Because I don't know what the hell was going on at the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like now I'm 30. I'm like, damn. I realized I needed that, dude. Like, and now that I was telling Dream, like, you didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that was the universe. I was like. It was meant to be like that. Like everybody needs a Gil in their life. I always say that. Everybody needs a fucking Gil in their life, 100%. And it's like, damn, dude, I'm lucky, and that's why I love you a lot, dog. Like you're my guy. You're one of my best friends. No matter what, I think we've always said that. No matter what anyone says, what that we discuss what people say. Like who doesn't even know those people? We know the situation. Like. This is my guy no matter what. I get it, but no, you don't understand like how much you've been there for us, and I appreciate that, dude. And it's crazy how 30 years. I'm like, I'm sure you knew how it was when you were 30. You thought you had it all figured out, and like I still don't. Like, damn, I'm still realizing little shit like that. Like, damn, he had love for us enough to do that, and appreciate it, though, dude. Seriously, that was. I don't think I could ever repay you for that, cause
you do every day, though. I mean. And that's the one thing with you guys being successful that repays everything, because that's the reason I do things for my friends. They're really, I don't call them friends, they're family. We're all family. Just because we're not from the same blood doesn't mean anything. Because we have the same type of heart. And that's the way we always looked at. It's, I don't know. I always take it for granted that if my son or my daughter need anything and they go to one of my friends, it's going to be handled.
100%.
And that's the thing. So that's the way I always look at it. It's. I mean, they could come to me, but there's always times where, like we talked about a minute ago. You don't go to your parents. Because for whatever reason you don't go. But there should be not just one person, but a couple of people. That you could go to and confide in. And there is some shit that you told me, and like I called your pops and go, hey, just FYI. And he go, what? And I go, but don't go off on him, because if you go off on him, he's gonna know that I'm telling you, and if he does know that, he's not gonna tell me shit. I go, but it's good. I just want you to know. I don't want you to be caught off guard. He's like, all right. And he was always good about it.
I think so too, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Because we talked about that, with each other. We have to if we see each other's kids in trouble, we need to let each other know, and they need to figure out how to bring it up to you, or without you knowing that.
Yeah.
Oh, Gil told him. Because I've done that with all my friends. If I see anything going on, or we watch out for each other's kids.
You do that because you love us too, though. You know, I think
yeah.
I would. I probably, if I was younger, I probably wouldn't have got it. Like, oh damn, dude, why'd you tell my mom and dad? But now that I'm older, I'm like, no, you're doing that because you love me enough to like, yo, I don't know if you can handle this, my G. I want to tell your parents because they need to help you handle this.
Yeah, which is it helps them look for signs because a lot of times when we're right in the middle of it, we don't see things until somebody says something and you go, oh shit, now it makes sense. Why so and so was acting this way or so and so was doing that. So it's a lot of times when you especially for me, especially my kids, if my son did something, my daughter said something, not my kids. Yeah. It's all parents say that. But in the end, it's like, oh damn, it was my kid. But it's so you got to. I think communication is just knowing how to communicate. I think as you get older, you understand. And then I think when you're younger, you react and more. People are more hot-headed. Oh, I can't believe it. What the fuck? Blah 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 blah. As you get older, it's like, all right, what happened? Let's talk about it. Break it down, and that way.
We all work at that, especially your age too. You know that we all make mistakes, but we're gonna bounce back, and sometimes we just gotta. Okay, let's not say what you need to do. This is what you should do, and maybe we could figure this out here. What do you think about this? You know what I mean? I think that's always been the approach, I think, too, with you. And I'm really, even when I was talking to my guy Donis today, it's crazy. Just say, I don't know if you see that little Nas X, the rapper he had the little stomach.
You know what? I couldn't. If you had all the rappers nowadays and you put them in a lineup, I probably couldn't name two of them. Yeah, because I'm old school.
You're gonna see. Well, I'll have to show you after this. I'm not gonna show you now because it's irrelevant. But it's there's a lot of homophobia in rap, right? So what he did was, if it was a younger me, that ain't hip hop. But now that I'm older, I'm like, what is that? Why that doesn't bother me anymore? Why do I care? I think we're channeling our energy now to things that are really worth it. Like, I can't control what that man does. Yeah. Who am I to be a hip-hop gatekeeper? And I would make like a big old rant on social media about it. Why would I do that, though, now? It's about energy and, I guess, giving a fuck. Like, should I really give a fuck? I know why he's doing it. He needs publicity. Yeah. Okay, I get it. As a businessman now, I'm like, all good, good or bad, they say, as long as they're talking about you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As long as they're talking about you.
Yeah, but music-wise, nowadays I don't listen much on the radio. It's all.
Yeah, we don't talk a lot about we still talk about the old stuff. Like Quick.
We still got somebody like Quick still in the game.
God, dude.
Even Snoop, I think the only one that I really listen to or like their music is Kendrick.
Kendrick, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's coming out with his last album on his label. Yeah, he's been with the same label all his life, and now he's about to do his last one.
Most of the people, I really don't.
I always tell people too, like, I remember going to your CD collection and seeing this motherfucker with this blue silk shirt with the pink letters, Rhythmalism. Oh, yeah. And that was like, then when
That's a CD right there.
Then I popped that album in, bro, I was like, oh my God, dude. When did you first listen to Quick? Like, when did you get put on to him?
Well, it was really with Tonight, cause that was the first one. Mm-hmm. And then little by little started just, whatever hit the radio. Again, because back then we just had cassettes and the radio, and then once the computer started coming in, Napster, all that, that's when everything else started coming out. But it was really people I listened to were Quick and Cube and Snoop. Those three were the bulk of it. I mean, all the old school East Coast stuff too, EPMD, Eric B. and Rakim, Run DMC. You
even had, I remember this shit vividly, bro. You had some R. Kelly there. And you had fucking 2 Life After Deaths. You had one still. You had one still in the package, and the other one you open and listen to. I'll never forget that, dude. It's vivid still in my mind.
It's a lot of R&B. I listen to.
Dude, you were into the R&B, Gil. Duh. You were so into the R&B, bro. What was that? Just why?
I don't know.
I never got that.
It was all. I think it was just because it was music. It was real music. It was instruments. It was people actually singing. Mm-hmm.
I remember 12 Play was on there, and you were younger than me at that time. I discovered the music you had. I always seen that you had R&B music real young. That El DeBarge, I remember that shit you had in there. Like, you were always into R&B music, bro, 100%.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, because growing up, I didn't listen to any Spanish growing up. It was more oldies, oldies and rap. My brother he had crates of vinyl. Rodney O and Joe Cooley. Everything that was West Coast, Spice One. He still has it. He still has a gang of vinyl.
Albert?
Yeah.
Oh man,
he has a gang of vinyl, and I told him it's all mine. I'm being lazy because I wanted to get one of those. One of those things that you play the album on and you could transfer it to your computer.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I was
definitely.
going to grab a crate at a time and do it because
Yeah.
he has like the albums. He has 12-inch versions of everything.
Mm-hmm.
He has crates.
Mm-hmm.
He has crates. He just don't listen to it anymore.
You could do so much now. You get that vinyl, put it on. Say a laptop actually has a CD player. These things don't have CD players anymore.
Yeah.
Find a laptop with a CD player, put it in there, and then that little damn hard drive, put it on. That little save all that stuff, dude. The vinyl versions they're coming back too. Everything comes back around once in a while, right? No, and vinyl is back.
Vinyl is back. I mean, a lot of people you look, it's crazy now. You got to pay $50 for an album.
Imagine.
And him, both my brothers were actually into music. Albert was more into rap. My brother Louis was into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hard rock, classic rock. It was tripped me out because it was like, what are you listening to? And back then, high school, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's good music, good stuff.
Donors would tell me too, like, wait till you get older, you're gonna start kind of, I don't want to listen to this rap shit no more, the new stuff at least, right? They're gonna gradually go into classic rock and alternative, and I hear in more R&B myself too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Music's a crazy thing though, but again, that's what I learned from you, like that Rhythmalism album.
Oh yeah.
It's cold, bro. It's so cold.
The two best, in my opinion, two of the best albums are Rhythmalism and then Lethal Injection by Q. Because those two it's like hit after hit. And
God.
I remember when they came out, it was like every week there was a new song out and people were just rocking it. And I was like, damn. You had to have those two at least. But, it was actually back then was a good time for music. Because like everything coming out was just
a hit.
Yeah, everything was hitting.
Everything was hitting, man. I know we always talk about the whole Biggie thing. Have you seen that new Biggie documentary?
Which one?
On Netflix? I think it's called I Got a Story to Tell.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It wasn't bad. I seen it when it came out. I mean, my thing for Biggie was he should have never been in Cali.
Yeah, we always talk about that, dude.
It's like how you come, but it was all the money. We got to make this money. Yeah, I don't know. If I left somebody, their life is worth more than any money that anybody has, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it was him. Everything I heard from all the documentaries and the people that were interviewed, all his friends, his close friends were like, "You should have never went."
And now that it's kind of the truth's getting more people are willing to come out and speak the truth. He didn't own any of his fucking music, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. You think, nah. I think we're kind of naive thinking, oh, he's Biggie, right? He's a big old rap god. No, the rap god was owned by somebody because he was so young and didn't understand what somebody understands. That's why I give up to the new guys now. They all own their masters. They're really proud of that shit. Yeah. These young, Warren G still fighting for his masters. Warren fucking G, right? He's even having this camp, don't listen to regulators anymore. I get no money on the streaming. Like, man, if they would have had the masters who would have thought streaming was going to be a thing though, right? Yeah. Biggie did not own his music.
That was, I think, a lot of Bad Boy though.
Yeah.
It was. I think earlier this year, like last year, there was something that went out that Puffy was on social media talking about. You need to treat people right. You need to give them their money. You're saying something, and then Mace came right underneath that. Well, if that's the case, then give us our masters.
Mm-hmm.
Give me my masters, and give me my masters. And he said, I think it was Little C's and all that.
All of them, yeah.
Give them all their masters. That's the same thing, ain't it? And then after that, the story kind of died down.
Yeah. Puffy has that power to make shit die down. That's what people forget too. That power, and it's now that more people are coming out, you see that Biggie sold his like 40% of his publishing for $125,000. That's pennies to what it was really. I'm sure $125K. You give it to us cash right now, we're good. But think what he ended up being though. You know what I mean? Like he got it for pennies on the dollar, and he was gonna sell it back to him supposedly. After this last album. It's like Puffy was a snake too, dude. Like
that's why Q was ahead of his time.
100%.
Everybody or they were talking shit about him, but in the end, it's like they ended up beating him.
Mm-hmm.
Dre went on his own. Easy cut and cut Jerry Heller loose. It's like damn, Q's seen it.
He knew that little percent, like we could just move it one more and I could get more money. Like what? You guys are getting this fucking money anyway. How come I can't get more of a cut if I'm doing everything?
What's this song? Record company pimping.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's when we talked about.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about this. Hey, you want a car? Hey,
Yeah.
you know.
That's how they would get
Yeah.
them. I'm sure. See,
Yeah.
it's sad, huh?
That is.
The record industry's always been kind of like conniving, but then like we always talk about Puffy, like he wanted that bag
Well, it goes back
so
to,
bad, dude.
who's like one of the originals did that? Like Chuck Berry, I think, was one of the originals talking about.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to. This, it's mine. I want to own it. You can't have it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you see, I think it was Cadillac Records. I think. If you ever seen it, it's actually good. That's a really good movie.
Mm-hmm. Never seen it.
And he's talking, and his manager's right there, and he goes, "Yeah, well, I'm the manager, so I get this, and you're the artist." And he goes, "Well, hold on." And he gets up and goes, "Well, let me sit in that chair, and you sit in this chair." He goes, "This is the chair I want," you know. And,
Definitely.
And he was, you know, he was one of the first guys, I believe, if I remember correctly, that back then to say, "No, I want, you know, I want to own it. This is mine."
And it's crazy. I think the mentality these guys have is, okay, you want to own that? We'll go find someone else to fill your seat. Then there's a lot of people who can do what you do, and I don't think people need to realize, nah, if you feel like you can do your own shit, do it and find your own lane. It's crazy. I think back then there was only certain Motown, Capitol, like there was only so many lanes. You had to kind of, I guess, say it's cliche now, but sell your soul to get on. Bad Boy, with Death Row maybe, how many Priority. There wasn't a lot of lanes for these East Coast guys to go to, and you had, and again, if you hear Biggie's story, like, yeah, he struggled, so of course I want $125,000 cash just for signing my rights, and I can buy him back later. I'll have that money. Don't worry about it.
Well, they are struggled, you know, because you think, man, there was a lot more rappers before Biggie on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they all went through the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got taken advantage of. A lot of them did.
Look at Snoop.
Yeah.
God, they didn't even pay. I don't think they paid him for a couple of those records.
Yeah. It's all the same. I mean, because they don't know, and they didn't have anybody to teach them. And you would hope that once guys that got burned like that, once they learn, that help somebody coming up and go, hey, here's what you want to do.
Pass it on to the next, just like you've been doing with me, passing it on, and hopefully you can pass it on. I see a lot of even today. You don't watch a lot of wrestling, but there's like a wrestler that came out. Seth Rollins came out with the story about AJ Styles. AJ, well, I think you've seen my WrestleMania, I'm sure.
Yeah.
AJ would buy Seth Rollins dinner when he first started. He's like, bro, how do I repay you back? When you get a rookie in 5 years, pay for his dinner. You keep it going. You got to keep the wheel going. Wrestling's a crazy thing, dude. Like that whole giving back to the next generation thing is. I love that shit, dude. I love it so much.
I think everything's kind of the same cycle because you get guys that are in there that everybody think it's big money, but it's not for all of them.
Mm-mm.
You know, it doesn't matter what sport or what thing, what event or actor or anything. There's people that don't make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got the Mega Million superstars. They got money and they do whatever. But you got the people that are supporting them or in a movie that
scratching for the ends. Yeah. It's cool to see the big dogs always be like, well, I know how it feels to be in that position. Here, don't worry about it. Like,
there's a lot of them nowadays that do that. You know, whether they hook them up with food or some extra, or you know, hey, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but only if you do this for them. You know, so
even now with a lot of local businesses, because I know now that I kind of know how it is now. Like, you like the good tip, you like the little extra dough. I try to always shoot the people the extra dough, dude. Especially when they're doing something local for me or doing a service for me, my graphic designer or just say somebody who puts me on a gig, I have no problem showing $50. Go have dinner on me, bro. No big deal.
I think it's good that you do that people do that, especially the people that work in restaurants. You know, they say, well, they know they're doing that and they know how much you get paid.
Yeah.
That ain't that. They're doing a service for you. You know, the real good ones are, oh, yeah.
Especially the ones who come in the clutch.
Yeah.
You remember that little cheesy photo shoot we had for my girl's birthday? Yeah. My cousin came through with the food. It was only 2-day notice, and Sean, whatever he charged me, a little extra.
Yeah.
Thanks, cuz you help me out more than you help. Trust me,
yeah.
You help me out so much more than I could ever help you out right now. You came through, and I think that's good karma too.
It is, yeah.
I think it's important to have that, and even with the young guys at school, I'm just trying to game them up. Stay out of trouble. Have fun. What are you doing here? You're only gonna be around this thing one time. Have fun, but be safe. Have fun. Don't break the rules. Stop taking things so serious, bro. Take your school serious. Don't worry about all this stuff out here. Go play a sport.
Go do something.
I tell these kids all the time, play a sport. Go join a club. I had this conversation today. Like, you're scared of what? Because you're not gonna be any good. How do you know? You never been trained up. You never had a coach actually say, "This is how you're gonna do it." Like if you want, you're gonna get that. Especially, I think kids are so scared of the unknown, which I'm sure we all are. But this generation is so weird. They just think they're gonna fail, so they won't try something.
I think this generation is a lot different too, though, because there's social media, and if somebody catches something on a phone and posts it, that's permanent, or that can be there for a long ass time.
And they see this result besides what the fuck we did to get to this result. I'm like, dude, there's a lot of work. We just talked about Rick James today. He started at 17. I learned today, and he didn't make You and I his breakout song till he was 31. That 14 years, what do you think he was doing? Just saying, I'm gonna fail. He knew what he wanted. He went to go grind for it and hone his craft. I didn't know this either. He was with Motown in the beginning. I totally forgot about that. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was with Motown in the beginning. Throughout that whole 14 years, honing his craft, going to different countries, and finding out, oh, this is the sound I want now.
But I think that's what happens to a lot of them, though. I mean, there's not a lot of overnight stars.
Mm-mm.
A lot of people grind it out, and the ones that hang in there, they get fortunate they're able to make it.
It was even with the Quincy Jones documentary. I never seen that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Another case of how look at him. He was down and out for a second. He kind of made it, but then went to that, like all artists do, went to the dry spell. Okay, let me try something else now. And I think people need to know that, like, this is all, keep grinding is not just a saying. I think we got to keep grinding no matter what we do. Like, even yesterday, we didn't do the podcast. Fucking hand was all messed up, dude. But because I told you, I'm going to come back tomorrow, we're going to do it. I felt horrible yesterday, just know that.
Oh, no, it was good.
But I couldn't do a pod yesterday, dog. I wasn't stressed out. I think we all, I think there's good stress, Gil, and bad stress. I always have good stress. And I think I just had a lot of good stress on my mind. I'm like, damn, the vending machine, I was just worried about that. Like, I didn't think it was going to take that long. And then my girl was talking about inventory. I didn't think about that before. I thought we could just, here, give me the money. I'm going to put the shit in the machine. We're going to make our money back. But how do you know? How do you know what's selling? How do you know how much you make, how many we put in there, how many are left over, and how many we're going to put in when they run out? You know me, I just like, oh, fuck, okay, you're right. Took me a while to kind of get the inventory down and how to work the machine. I never worked a vending machine in my life, so I think it's pretty cool, though. I'm really excited for that. Another venture, right?
Yeah, it's something to try.
We got to try it, dog.
Yeah. You got to.
I think if it's within reach, and yeah, we had to say some Fetty for it, but it wasn't like we had to order it from Indiana or something. It was right there. Why not? Perfect condition, had everything new. Why not try it?
Right. I think it's one of those things that people always say is you have to try it. If you fail, it's really not a failure. It's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to go years later and go, man, if I would have did this, or I should have did that. No, you go back, oh, okay, I remember I did this and it worked out this way. So, okay, I'm going to try this, but I'm going to go this way instead of that. You learn. You learn from it. You learn from everything you do. You know? So that's what I try to, like, the way I tell Gilbert, he's trying to do the music thing. And he gets frustrated sometimes. They call me up and we'll talk. And I go, what happened? I go, it's a good learning experience. And he goes, yeah, but it was negative. I go, no, nothing's negative. I go, the outcome might not be what you wanted. I go, but you learn from it so that outcome doesn't happen again. I go, you have to grow from that. I go, because you were going to mess up somewhere, or a mistake was going to happen. So learn from that one. And consider just, cool, I learned from it. Let's move forward. He's like, all right, Dad, all right. He's like, just stay positive. And I go, nothing's easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
He's an example of working.
Oh, he is.
Like, and I'm not saying but I know how I am. I've heard so many people say, I'm a rap. I'm a rapper. All right, cool. And I heard Gil say it. And then when he took me to the studio that night, bro, and I'm not even telling you because that's your son. No, I was like, oh, fuck. He's on. Especially when I got it's a whole serious, you know how it is in the studio? When you're dead serious, but you're having fun, but it's like, oh, we're serious. And when I seen that face when that look on his face, I was like, oh, we're here to really fucking get to work. All right. We're not fucking family. We're having fun with this music.
Yeah.
And that was the funnest thing in the world, dude. And for me, it was kind of like, I love making music, right? I always will. I always say, man, I want to drop a song. I always say that shit. But to go in there as someone who just wanted your opinion on stuff is a whole different thing, dude. And I've believed him ever since. Like, I'm like, dude, you got it. Like, I was shocked though. I didn't know, you know. Like, everybody tells me they rap nowadays, but when I really heard what he was putting on wax, I was like, oh fuck, he does love to see.
He does.
He worked for it.
He's actually good.
Yes.
He does well because it's
not nursery rhyme shit,
no,
dude. It's not nursery rhyme.
And the way he could fluctuate his voice and sound different because he showed me one song some years back and I was like, that's you too? And he's like, yeah, good. It's actually pretty good. And a couple times I told him, hey man, I don't know about that. Maybe with this. I go, but I'm just telling you from my point of view. I go, but and again, I told him I'm not up to today's music. I go, I'm just thinking of because I'm old school.
Definitely.
You know, I'm old school. I go, but you know, if that's what people are liking, I go, but if that's what you like, I go, you gotta make what you want.
You gotta make it your own, 100%.
And then from there, you'll figure it out. And he just needs a break. You know, he needs to find somebody that listens or hears him and go, hey, come here. You know, and a couple of times he said, yeah, he thought he had something, and there's always something. He's working on something. You know, whether it's L.A. and now he's back in the Bay. So hopefully he's able.
I always tell him too, though, the people can't hear you if you don't let them listen.
Yeah.
You can't. Just like, but this year, how are people gonna ever listen if you don't show them what you got?
Yeah.
You got, and what we have at our advantage now, it's like everything's here.
Oh yeah.
Everything's here. There's no need to go pay the $1 million or get the 3 cameras or cost $10,000. Everything's here. There's filters. We could do whatever the fuck we want now. It's at our disposal. We're living in a great time for music. Even though it's kind of anybody could do it though. Yeah. That's the problem. Oh God, that's the problem. It's that anybody could do it. They're nigga that's for fucking showing you 99 episodes. This is the 99th time people can hear me spill my bullshit. Good God, dude. Like anybody could do it, right? But if you're good at it, if you stand out, and I think what people really care about too, if you put your heart into it. If you put your heart into it, I think people respect that and they really it's infectious. You know what I mean? You could tell when someone's half-assing it or just doing it because I don't want to be here, but I'm forced to be here. Yeah. When someone's doing it because they love it, it's like fuck. That it's contagious, bro. I love that feeling.
I think too, if you're not going for the money.
That too.
You know, because if you're going for the money, you're going to be let down. It's like do what you love, do it the way you want, and then. If everything hits and the money will get there. I
think it's a blessing for me to be at the schools because DJ's not the only source of it. Yeah. So it's not like, oh, I need this gig because I'm going to go broke. Or I need this. It's like now I kind of be picky because I got this on the side. It's a blessing. It's not going to ever be for the love of money, I think. Hopefully it's never like that. But I think there's a thing too that Biggie said. He said something about when Puff first talked to him, he said, you got to treat every day like the first day of the office. And that's how I honestly try to treat every gig. I don't ever try to lag on my clients. I don't try to half-ass it. I don't walk through it. And preparation is key, especially with weddings. I always make sure prepping. Yeah, every question I have, just so it could be. I don't want them to worry about what's coming out the speakers. I got all that shit. That's kind of like a biggie thing for me. You know, man, I love this hip hop stuff. Every day's your first day, dude.
But because you never know who's gonna be in the audience.
But then my guy Moreno at school, he'd be like, every day's the first day. What happened to the tie? He'd be telling me that. I missed that Ernie. What's that Ernie with the tie at? Oh, man. It was bad. Angel gives me heat for that all the time. Oh, what happened to his tie, Moreno? Yeah, it was funny, dude.
Shout out to Sasquatch.
Shout out to Sasquatch. You ready for Monday? I want to talk about that.
Oh, no. I'm not ready. No, I haven't even looked at nothing yet.
Damn. I like playing fantasy football. We're champions of a league one time. That was fun. The fixers with 3 X's. I said. What did we say? The fixers with 3 X's because your Thea likes it nasty. That shit was fucking tight. That was fucking funny. Oh, I'll never forget that.
That's when they try to do collusion on our ass.
They do straight collusion on us, dog. Yeah. Straight collusion. I'm really excited for this year. I think it's gonna be fun. I got like the trophy. I want to make it legit now, you know what I mean? I want to get a set group of guys. I think I always kind of revolve guys, but I think I got a set group now. And Banks will be in the building. Today's his birthday. Shout out to Aunt Banks. 39 years old.
Damn.
39, baby. Crazy, huh?
39?
No, he's 39 today. I talked to him this morning.
Damn.
Aunt Banks is 39 years old, dog.
Oh, you talking about Big Aunt Banks?
Yeah, Beckman. Yeah.
Beckman ain't 39.
Beckman's 39.
No, yeah.
I swear that's what he told me on the text message today.
Is he 39?
Swear to God. We're talking about, what are they planning his big 40 for next year? I want to rock that thing for him.
God damn, he's 39.
Yeah. Crazy,
God damn, that is.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Aunt Baby.
You got me thinking high school. When was he there? It's like, damn, 39.
Yeah, he coached the man, dude. Yeah, weird, huh?
That's crazy, yeah.
Weird. So Beckman's gonna be in the building. Sasquatch is gonna be in the building. Mike and Chuko's already confirmed. Donas, my dad. So it's kind of like the original group too. You know, we're missing a couple guys, but they had. Sorry, Lodi and Rob. Those guys are cool too. I love them being in the league. But who do you go with the first pick?
Normally running back, to be honest.
Who would you go with?
If I had a number one pick, probably Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry?
Probably. Damn. I know people looking at McCaffrey, but I get nervous.
Look what happened last year.
I get nervous with injuries. You know, I mean, he's a star.
Even Cook's he's there too, but damn, he's hurt.
Dalvin Cook. You got. I was looking at your chart yesterday, and I was looking at that, going, man. You know, yeah, Henry.
I'm not going Mahomes second. Sorry, Pop. I ain't touching him. I think, but I learned that too, dude. I don't want. Why go quarterback the first 3-4?
It varies on the league. I mean, honestly, because normally there's 2 or 3 quarterbacks that could go early, and then all the rest you just wait. But you know, you do need that star running back because there's only 32 starters in the league, and not all 32 are good because some share carries.
I was surprised Jonathan Taylor went in the first round. No disrespect to Indy, but I didn't think Taylor was worth that.
So everybody has their opinion. You know, they look at whatever they see. You know, so every year people make. You know, they traded. Yeah, they got a tight end in the second round.
I think you should take. It has to be elite tight end, but if you get his quarterback too, get that 1-2 punch. I'm a 1-2 punch type of guy. If I get the 1-2, I'm in there. Like even the Chargers quarterback and Keenan Allen, that might be. Justin's a bad boy. He ain't going to pass the third round over. If he goes past the third round, it's a grab for us.
He might.
Pick him up in the 4th, 5th, 6th. You're getting a stud for that price. That's a good.
Well, all the young quarterbacks, you know, you never know, they could go off. That's one thing about, you know, one year they do good, next year they don't, or you know, they picked it up over the summer. Herbert did good last year though. That fucking name makes me laugh. Herbert.
Fucking Herbert.
But yeah, he's bad though.
What about you? Think Big Ben's gonna have a good year, sir?
Varies on the O line. If his O line's solid, he is.
Well, yeah, that's what you told me yesterday about the running back.
They're supposed to open it up. I mean, because last year their offense was horrible. I mean, once people started stacking the line or coming in 8 yards and that little crossing bullshit they did, that's it. They don't change it. They're done. They never changed it.
Good news. Did you guys still see the same offensive coordinator?
No, they got rid of him.
They got rid of him. What was his name? Haley, you know?
No, Haley was.
Damn it! Who was the one that Big Ben got into it with a couple years ago?
It might have been Haley. Because it was Haley and then the guy they got let go last year. Now it's Canada or candidate, something like that.
I think a sleeper this year, like I was telling you, man, Nelson Agholor, he's going low, but man, 14, 15, 16 round, if my guy, the rookie, goes well. Yeah. And they're saying, well, shit, they just cut Cam, so they're banking on him. They're banking on him.
Well, things like that. There was that team, and there was, who else were they talking about? Because they go, young quarterback, yeah, but he's always going to be throwing because they're going to be behind. So receivers are going to do good. You know. I
like Jalen Hurts. I hope he do well.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with him though because he could be gone after 2-3 weeks. Especially they picked up Minshew. I was like, why'd they pick him?
Oh yeah, they did pick up my guy from Jacksonville.
Yeah. I like Minshew. I like him.
I was surprised they got let him go, but then you got the what's
Trevor
his name? Lawrence. God, I did not know this guy hasn't lost since like high school.
Yeah, he was on fire in Clemson.
Did not fucking know that. You about to get a rude awakening, dude, the first couple of weeks because Jacksonville's rough.
It is.
Jacksonville's a rough place to play. James Robinson's another one. I wouldn't mind James Robinson. Not in I'm talking about 9 through 10, 11. Like maybe my second or third running back. I wouldn't mind James Robinson. Hope these fools ain't listening to this shit. You're gonna give all my secrets. I don't care. I got 4 teams anyway. Fuck it.
Oh, you're gonna be there and there. James Robinson sells Robinson.
What do you think about first place winning the champion this year, winning the number 1 pick? Nah, that's not it. Nah. Okay. How about dollar transactions?
Dollar transactions. As long as just where is it going? I mean, because when I played, two leagues. There was one league I played in, probably for like 15 years. I played it a long time. We did $5 transactions, and you had to pay. It was we actually met up. Nothing was computerized. We'll meet up at the pizza place on Thursday. We'd make our transactions, $5 a transaction, and then at the end of the year we had a party. We used that money for the party.
That'd be a good idea.
So it was cool because we started off with like steaks, rice and beans, and then had some appetizers and then alcohol or beer, and then the loser last place brought a bottle of tequila. So back then we did it on a Saturday, and the game started at 9 o'clock in the morning. So by 11:30 we were faded already.
Oh
just
man,
having a good time.
Hell yeah.
Playing dice, pool, whatever.
Maybe we could do option. We could do first. We could have the proposal A with the dollar transactions, 50-50 split between first and second end, or that money goes to a party at the end of the year, which would be cool. I think that would be fun. And last place.
It should be more 60-40 though, first and second.
Think so?
Yeah, because first place you get more.
Make them play for something.
Yeah.
Make it worth it.
Yeah, because 50-50 is like, why?
Yeah.
Well, you took second. Why do you get 50% of that?
Mm-hmm.
Just like the pot. I mean, if the winner gets a certain percentage, the second place gets a different percentage. They don't get the same.
We could do that. I think I would like that a lot. Something different though. But the year in the end party sounds kind of tempting too.
No, it's cool.
That'd be fun.
For us, it was cool because a lot of us were older, and we had families. So the first game was just us, and we'd do the trophy presentation, all that, drink up, and then once the second game started, or in between first and second game, families would show up, and then everybody would just kick back, and if you had kids would go, and wives would just be kicking it, having a beverage too, relaxing, and we're just watching the second game. And once it's over, did whatever, kind of just kick back.
When does the season end? What month? Like in January, huh?
Yeah, it's usually the first week in January.
That would be cool to have like an end of year party like on a fight night.
Yeah.
And that money goes to the fight night, ends, and the loser brings the tequila, and whoever can make it, have that little end of year party.
Yeah, if everybody knows, because it gives everybody enough time to say, hey, this is going to be the Saturday, and it's normally during playoffs, and more likely playoffs during the day, and then the fight at night if you want to do something like that.
That'd be cool.
And then the other thing you do is because we had extra money, if we had a party and we had extra money, then we'll go, okay, for the first game we did squares, and everybody got a couple of squares for free, and then the house got like an extra one, whoever that was hosting, and then that's how the money got split up. So you can't say, first place or second place didn't get it. Just anybody randomly could get money, and varied on how much we had, and that's first quarter got this much, second, third, and fourth.
Okay. Yeah, we could talk about it.
There's a bunch of different ways.
That'd be cool.
And some people might say no, because you got to also say, well, if you make a trade and you don't pay your dollar, then next week you can't make another trade until you pay your money.
Oh yeah.
That's the way we did it. Because like, nah, you can build no credit. You got to pay your money for that trade. That trade isn't. I think after a week or two, if you didn't pay, that player went back in the free agent. Usually,
I was thinking what the way they did in my Pops League last year is they added it all up at the end, and they would say they ain't getting paid till you pay. So pay up, or they ain't getting paid. They're gonna be talking to you.
Yeah, but if they take seventh and they don't get money, what's their incentive to pay? I mean, most people are gonna.
I would hope they would fucking pay. We all got Fetty now, you know what I'm saying? Damn, we all got Fetty.
It's only $1.
Yeah, it's only $1. It's not gonna pay.
Even if you made 3 trades a week, that's still only gonna be $50, $51.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'd be cool. We'll see what happens though, man. But I know, I do appreciate you coming on. Try to keep it under an hour and shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on though, Gil. This is episode 98, dude. I wanted you on really bad, dude. I think I didn't know if you were gonna come on. I never asked you. I'm like, that's why I said, fuck it, let me ask him. And you came on, so I think it's the road to 100. We got a lot of giveaways going on. I'm like, man, promoting King right now, baby. Trying to do everything to get DJ East 3 and Tim off the map.
You know what? Honestly, that's what people say. Hey, but the thing they like is you do promote. You do talk about your sponsors. And you do have people listening. Maybe more than others than others, but the thing is, you still promote, and they like that.
It's consistent,